Hello, everyone. Wishing you all a very good afternoon. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. Good afternoon, Yarika. How are you? Abhiram, good afternoon. How is life at your end? I hope you're enjoying it. Good. Well done. So, good afternoon, Tanu. The only thing that Tanu says in the entire class is good afternoon, and then she disappears. Why is that so, Tanu? Why you don't interact? Why you don't answer? Don't you like to give answers? Hmm? Tanu, are you there? See? She just says good morning, good afternoon, and then she disappears. What, yes, sir? Don't like to give answers? You like to participate in the discussions that we have, solve questions, let everyone know what are your thoughts. I am very eager to listen to your thoughts, to everyone's thought for that matter. But I do like to give answers. What is Tanu saying? Let me read it out. Chat. I do like to give answers, but somewhere I be like, if my answer is wrong, see, Tanu, I told you that beforehand. There are no right answers and no wrong answers. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong. If you give a right answer, that doesn't mean that you have done something really great. If you give a wrong answer, that doesn't mean that you have committed a crime. There are no right answers and no wrong answers in life. See, whatever has happening in Afghanistan, I always give this example because really bad things are happening there. Some people are still justifying it. For some, they are still right. Definitely, they are wrong. No doubts about it. But some people are feeling they are right. There is nothing right, nothing wrong, better. The only way we can, if you think that it is wrong, the only way you can wrong or right is by understanding what is right and by understanding what wrong you were doing. Right? Now, how to understand what wrong you were doing, unless and until you discuss, unless and until you open up, you won't be able to understand. If you think that you are wrong, you won't be able to understand what wrong you were doing. So in order to wrong or right, no, or in order to right or wrong, in order to make things right, we must always talk to each other and see what the other's opinions are. You might not agree with those opinions, but then that's how democracy works. That's how learning works. Whatever teacher tells you, it might be difficult for you to understand, but what your friends or your colleagues or your pals or your colleagues tell you, they understand you probably better than your teacher, and then you would be able to understand things better by discussing. So that is why I emphasize on discussing and sharing your thoughts. Don't worry, even if your answers are wrong, I don't evaluate people on the basis of their answers. I know after a period of time, your so called wrong answers will become right answers. If you pay attention, if you participate in the class, if you're doing what I tell you to do, you study your wrong answers. So, what you think are wrong will turn into right answers. So, participate. Okay? Tanu, did you get it? This long lecture was for you, not for you. It was for everyone who thinks that his answers are wrong. And I should not say because my answers are wrong. No, there is nothing right, nothing wrong. The most stupid idea, the most stupid looking idea, the most foolish looking idea can be the next big thing and can become the next $1 billion company. Nothing is stupid, nothing is wrong. Everything is right, everything is correct. Okay, with that, I have allowed you to unmute yourself. So if I ask you a question, you can speak. India, we have freedom of speech, so use that freedom. You have to chat. You can send your messages on the ID of Astik, or you can send a message to everyone. Keep your mobile cameras off. Sit in a place where you get good network, and that is how we start our class. And we start our class with the previous class heading, and the previous class heading was relative motion in a river. Do we remember that? Relative motion in a river? Relative motion in a river, right or not? And we discussed that there will be some things given to us in this and some things will be unknown. What will be given to us will be velocity of man with respect to river, m with respect to r, or it could be the velocity of man with respect to still water. It means the same thing. It could be the velocity of man with respect to water, boat with respect to water, boat with respect to river. They're all one and the same thing. Do we understand this? That would be the first thing that would be given to us. What else would be given to us? You would be probably given velocity of river with respect to ground. Now remember, I told you in the previous class, I hope you all remember it, that there is a small difference between a motion that is happening on road and motion that is happening in river. Road does not move with respect to ground or with respect to earth. It is only the body which is moving on the road moves. So whenever we say the velocity of car with respect to road, it is actually the velocity of car with respect to ground, because road and ground, they don't meet, they don't move with respect to each other. But that is not the case with rivers. Rivers are supposed to flow. Though with dams and all that, they never flow. We are building dams. But only in rainy season, and that is the rainy season, dams get flooded, floodgates open, and we see rivers flowing. Rivers flow from downstream. So the direction of river flow is known as downstream. From Himalayas or from mountains, they flow towards the sea, oceans, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal. The direction of river flow, in the direction in which the river flows, is known as downstream. Upstream means opposite to the direction of river flow. So you will be given these two things. Velocity of man with respect to river and velocity of river with respect to ground will be given to you. But whenever a man swims in water or river, or a boat moves in river or water, it covers distance. It has a displacement. Now that displacement, say for example, a ship or a boat is moving in a river, and this river connects Hyderabad with Secunderabad. I know there might not be a river as such. Let us assume that there is a river that connects from Hyderabad to Secunderabad. The river obviously flows. Fictitious condition. Now, when you are moving, while you are moving through a boat from Secunderabad to Hyderabad or Hyderabad to Secunderabad, your boat is moving with respect to river, but you are traveling, or your displacement is from Secunderabad to Hyderabad. That is not with respect to river, that is with respect to ground. Secunderabad, it is one place, and Hyderabad is the other place. So your displacement is with respect to ground. So these two things would be given to you. These would be known. One thing would be unknown, which is what we need to calculate. What would be the unknown factor here that we can calculate from these two velocities? Remember, everything will move with respect to ground or earth. What would be calculate from these two quantities? We could calculate the third one, velocity of man with respect to ground, and this is the quantity that we are most interested in. This is the quantity, this is the velocity that will give me my displacement or my distance traveled with respect to ground, and that is what we need to find out. So this would be an unknown, and this is what we would need to find out in almost, not almost, in all the questions that we do in relative motion, whether that question is motion in 1D for relative motion in river, or that question is for 2D relative motion in a river. We have three velocities here, 1, 2, and 3. Who is going to tell me the relation between 1, 2, and 3? Tanu, what do you think? What is the relation between 1, 2, and 3? Can you unmute yourself and tell me what is the relation between 1, 2, and 3? What do you think is the relation between 1, 2, and 3? No right, no wrong. Am I audible to everyone? Or have I missed some trick here? No, mind. Am I audible? Can anyone tell me what is the relation between 1, 2, and 3? I think we discussed it in the last class. Niharika obviously knows it. I know Niharika knows it. What about the others? Tanu, Tarun, Vashant. I am having expectation that Tanu will tell me the answer. Karthik and Kiran, Vishal, Akshay, Abhiram. What is the relation between 1, 2, and 3? No one apart from Niharika knows the relation? No, I don't believe it. Maybe someone is shy. Who will tell me? Tanu, you want to speak? You can write the answer in your message. No one will know apart from you and me. Secret between you and me. Can you write the answer in your chat and tell me? Meanwhile, I will ask Niharika to tell me the solution by unmuting herself. Niharika, unmute yourself and tell me what is the relation between 1, 2, and 3.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, beta, tell me.
Sir, the relation is velocity of man with respect to river equals to velocity of man with respect to ground minus velocity of river with respect to ground.
That is absolutely correct. It is something new that you have studied just now, or you had known this beforehand also? Is it something new, or is it something old that we have done before? Niharika?
Sir, we have done it before.
Okay, we have done it before. Great. So I hope all of you understand this. But here there is a small thing that I want to discuss. 1 and 2, velocity of man with respect to river and velocity of river with respect to ground are known, are the known quantities. I'm not interested in finding out the velocity of man with respect to river. What I'm more interested to find out is the velocity of the third unknown. Is the velocity of river, no, velocity of man with respect to ground. Now, having said that, and having seen the equation, who is going to tell me what will be the velocity of man with respect to ground? You can obviously get it from the green equation, which Niharika has told us, and which she says that she knows it's not an old, it's not a new velocity. Looking at equation number green equation. What is the velocity of man with respect to ground? Because that is the velocity that we will have to find out. No one? Niharika, can you tell me what is the velocity of man with respect to ground? No, it's pretty easy. I'll just take this velocity and bring it here on the left hand side. That's it. That is what I got to do. So when I bring it on the left hand side, the equation looks like this. Velocity of man with respect to ground is velocity of man with respect to river plus velocity of river. And this equation, whatever color this is, I'm color blind. I don't know the name of colors, purple or whatever you call it. Velocity of man with respect to ground is equal to velocity of man with respect to river plus velocity of river with respect to ground. Can I have some raised hand that we have understood this equation? The equation number 2, which is Vinay, Vashant, Tarun, Tanu, wake up, Nayan, Yashwant, Kartik Kiran, Vishal, Akshay, Abhiram. Do we understand this equation? Shall I repeat it again? 3 people have raised hands. What about the others? Velocity of man with respect to ground is equal to velocity of man with respect to river plus velocity of river with respect to ground. Nayan, Tanu, Vashant, Vinay. Do we understand this? Kartik, Vishal? Okay, great. Now there is one more way of remembering it. If you remember, I told you that I can put an R in between these two. So I think this is mg. In between m and g, I have put R. So it becomes velocity of man with respect to R, river, plus river to ground. So in that way, put a R in between, velocity of R with respect to ground, this R and R cancel, and you have velocity of man with respect to ground. Do you understand this now? In this way, we'd already done that in the chapter on vectors. Do we understand this? So equation number green or the niche wala one, purple one, they are same equation, just written in different formats. In the green equation, we are finding the velocity of man with respect to river. Equation is same. In the bottom one, we are finding the velocity of man with respect to ground. We understand this? Okay. Now, let us first, we call it the warm-up game. Let us first do relative motion in a river in 1D. 1D means one dimension. Relative motion in river in 1D. 1D means one dimension. Now, what type of question you will have for relative motion of something in river in one dimension? It's very simple. There will be two types of question. One will be downstream. One would be question on downstream. The second type of question would be on upstream. Downstream means will move opposite to the direction of river flow. Am I clear? Am I clear? That means it will move it to the river, and downstream. Upstream means opposite to the direction of river flow. Downstream means in the direction of river flow. And here we have those two cases. River problem in two dimension in two different cases. Let me make it more bigger. Case number one. Case number one. And what is this case number one? In case number one, the man is swimming downstream. What do you mean by downstream? Downstream means he is swimming along the direction of the river flow. Am I clear? He is moving downstream. That means he is moving along the direction of river flow. Now see, this U is given. What is this U here? What is this U here? This U is the velocity of river with respect to ground. Are you getting my point? This is the velocity with which the river is flowing with respect to ground. Can I have some reason that you understand this, sir? U is the velocity of river with respect to ground, which I have already told you that will be given to you. Now, let us call it as plus U. Why I want to call it as plus U? Because this plus indicates its direction. Am I clear? Velocity of river with respect to ground, which I am again going to underline, velocity of river with respect to ground is plus u. Do we understand this? Velocity of river with respect to g, ground is plus u. Velocity of river with respect to ground is plus u. Do we all understand this now? Okay. What is the second velocity given to you? I will mark that velocity in blue. I will mark that velocity in blue. What is the second velocity given? Velocity of man in still water. What do you mean by velocity of man in still water? This will be velocity of man with respect to river or with respect to water. Do we understand this? This will be velocity of man with respect to river or with respect to water, and it will be equal to plus v. Why I have written plus v? Because this plus indicates its direction. And what is the direction? It is along the direction of river flow. That means it is in the same direction as river flow. Therefore, this becomes plus v. Velocity of man with respect to river becomes plus v. Do we all understand this? Whatever we have discussed, can I have some reason that we have understood this, sir? Velocity of river with respect to ground is plus u. Velocity of man with respect to river is plus v. What we need to calculate is velocity of man with respect to ground, which is the velocity of man with respect to river, and river with respect to ground. Both are in the same direction. So the velocity becomes u plus v. Both the velocities are getting added up. That means if you are swimming downstream, you would be swimming very fast, because with your swimming speed, the speed of the river, the velocity of the river is also getting added up, and hence your speed or velocity with respect to ground becomes very high. Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Only two people have understood this. What about the others? Vasant, Tarun, Tanu, have you understood this? Nayan, Yashwant, Kartik, Harsha, Priya, Vishal, Akshay. Okay. So downstream, always remember the net velocity with respect to ground is v plus u, velocity of river plus velocity of man with respect to river. Case number 2. In case number 2, what is happening? In case number 2, what is happening? Let us go back and use my red pen. Let us go back and use my red pen. River is now flowing in the opposite direction. This is the direction of river flow. So this becomes my velocity of river with respect to ground. Will I call it plus u or minus u now? Should I call it plus u or minus u now? Yes, Niharika, I have to call it minus u because it is backwards. Backwards, according to my convention, is minus. Now, in this case, the man is running upstream, which means he is moving opposite to the direction of river flow. He is moving opposite to the direction of river flow. So how is the man moving? This is where I am going to draw the velocity of man. This is the velocity of man with respect to velocity of man with respect to river. And how much is the velocity of man with respect to river? How much is the velocity of man with respect to river? It is plus v. Do we all understand this? Velocity of river with respect to ground. Velocity of river with respect to ground is minus u. velocity of man with respect to river is plus v. From this I can calculate the velocity of man with respect to ground. Velocity of man with respect to ground will be velocity of man with respect to river plus velocity of river with respect to ground plus v plus minus u. The effective answer becomes v minus u. So it is very easy to understand that when I'm moving upstream, I am swimming against the direction of river flow. I am swimming against the direction of river flow. In that case, my velocity with respect to ground will be less. How much less? V minus v. Where v is my velocity with respect to river and u is the velocity of river with respect to ground. I hope all of you have noted this down. Everyone have drawn the diagram and noted it down. Yes or no? Can I have raised hand that we have noted it down? Tanu has raised hand first of all. Well done, Tanu. What about the others? Have we noted down this upstream and downstream phenomena in your notebooks? Niharika says yes. Viram says yes. What about the others? Vasant, Tanu. Tanu, I think, has noted down. Tarun, Nayan, Karthik, Harsha, Priya, Vishal. Have you noted this down? Have you understood this? Upstream, downstream funda. You understood some funda. Now you need to solve the question. And the question is example number 14. From your notes, if you have your notes, you can refer to this question. Else, you can see this question coming right in front. And the question is like this. A swimmer. You are a swimmer. Physics gives you extraordinary capabilities. You become a swimmer at some time. You become a pilot at other. A swimmer capable of swimming with a velocity v relative to water. So which velocity is given to you? Velocity is v relative to water. So which velocity is given to you here? Velocity of what with respect to what? Velocity of what with respect to what? It is velocity of man with respect to river. Yes or no? Yes or no? So you can call it as plus v. We are assuming that it is like this. Relative to river, jumps in a river. Why he has to jump? See, for physics, he has to do all these things so that he can make a question. Jumps in a river, moving with a velocity u. So what is this u? This u is the velocity of river with respect to ground. Yes or no? Do we understand this? For upstream, we will take it in the backward direction. For downstream, we will take in the upward direction. Yes or no? The man swims a distance of d first downstream, returns back to the original position. That means first he will go downstream and then he will move upstream. Find out the total time taken. So this is what you need to find out. First he moves downstream, then he comes back. That means he moves upstream. What is the total time taken? Let me see who can do this. Let me see who can get me this. Are you trying, everyone? The question. First, he moves downstream. Let us solve the question for downstream first. Are you trying or shall I do it? Okay, let me help you out. Downstream. Let us first solve it for downstream. For downstream, velocity of man with respect to river is plus v, moving like this. Velocity of river with respect to ground plus u. So velocity of man with respect to ground will be sum of this and this. So it becomes v plus u. So its net velocity becomes v plus u. Now he's moving from this point A to this point B. The total displacement is d. So how much will be the time taken? There is no acceleration. So displacement is velocity multiplied by time. Velocity is v plus u. Time is t. So v plus u multiplied by t is d. So how much is t? T taken downstream will be equal to total displacement d divided by v plus u. This is the time taken to go downstream. Do we understand this? Time taken to go downstream will be d total displacement with respect to ground divided by velocity with respect to ground, which is v plus u. So total time, no, time taken to go downstream will be d divided by v plus u. Do you all understand this? Can I have some raised hands? How many of you have understood this? Abhiram has understood this. Tarun has understood this. What about the others? Akshay, Harsh Priya, Karthik, Nayan, Niharika, Tanu, Vasant Sai. Have you understood this? Okay. Now, if you've understood downstream, we can repeat the same steps for upstream. For upstream, what will happen? Upstream. For upstream, what will happen? Velocity of man with respect to river is plus v. Velocity of river with respect to ground minus u. So that means velocity of man with respect to ground becomes v minus u. Now, he has to go from B to A. Total displacement is d. D divided by the net velocity is v minus u. So d divided by v minus u becomes time taken to go upstream. Time taken to go upstream. Time taken to go upstream becomes d upon v minus u. D upon v minus u is the time taken to go upstream. D upon v plus u is the time taken to go downstream. What is the total time? Total time is definitely time taken to go upstream plus time taken to go downstream. We have calculated both the values. We will put them in the formula and we will get the answer of the total time. Total time will be time taken to go downstream plus time taken to go upstream, d upon v plus u plus d upon v minus u. The final answer would be 2 dv upon v square minus u square. Do we understand this? Can I have raised hand that we have understood this? Only 2 people have understood this. 3. What about the others? Let me see what others. Niharika, Harsh, Tarun, Abhiram, great. Vishal, Karthik, Nayan, what happened to you? Tanu, are you there? Did you understand this, beta? Yes, Tanu also sees this. Prashant, I'm waiting for response from your end. Karthik and Kiran. Two names, but are you there in the class, beta? Vishal, Akshay. Okay. So, as you can see, downstream and upstream question are pretty damn simple. Doesn't take much of your time. In downstream, both the velocities get added up. In upstream, subtract the velocity of river from the velocity of man. You get the net velocity with respect to ground. Multiply that velocity by time, you will get the displacement. That takes us, that was just a warm-up question. Motion in 1D, as you now know, is more like a warm-up. It's more like a warm-up now. That will take us to the next part. We'll now be moving to the next part, which is a more difficult one to understand. More difficult one to understand. But again, if you understand it, everything becomes simpler. Relative motion in 1D only had downstream and upstream. We were either moving with the river or moving against the river. How will relative motion in 2D in a river look like? How does relative motion in a river in 2D look like? What will happen now? Up till now, the swimmer or the boat was moving downstream or upstream. River was moving like this, person was moving like this, or they were moving in the same direction. What will happen now? Now what will happen is that we are going to study it in two different cases. And case number one is known as shortest time. Now you'll be wondering, sir, we have not understood what type of questions you will have, and you have straight away told me the first case. First of all, tell us, sir, what are you excited to know what will happen now? This way. What is this, sir? This is another bank. I have given the name as P. Now this river is flowing like this. Velocity of river with respect to ground. Let us take it as U because we have been using U. Now, up till now, what was happening was either I was moving like this, V, this was downstream. Do we understand this? This was happening. Either we were moving downstream or we were moving upstream. It was a simple case. Let us say this W is the width of. Now, along the was one dimension, but now cross the river. Now there are different ways. One of the case, we'll do two of these cases. One of the case is traveling in the shortest time or crossing the river in the shortest time. Now I have velocity of given by V. The river is flowing like this along x-axis. Oh, I have to make x-axis as well. This is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. Okay. The river is moving along positive x-axis. I intend to cross it. So I will try to move along positive y-axis. I'll have to cross the river. I need to cross the river in the shortest time. I am Bear Grylls, though I don't know how to swim. I am Bear Grylls. I intend to cross the river in the shortest time. How should I move? How should I swim? Obviously, I am going to swim in water. I have a fixed velocity of swimming in water. How should I swim? When I say how should I swim, I mean in what direction should I swim? So that I cross the river in the shortest possible time. Do you think should I go like this and swim? Do you think I should go like this and swim perpendicular to the river? Or do you think should I go like this and swim? So I've given you three options. Option number 3, option number 2, common sense. Because I won't see ground. I will only swim with respect to the river. So how should I swim with respect to the river? 1, 2, or 3. So that I cross the river in the shortest possible time, and Niharika gives me the correct answer as always, 2. Along 2. Along 2 means if I'm moving along 2, I'm moving my velocity v with respect to river is perpendicular to the velocity of river. So basically, Niharika, to that river flow. Niharika, are you there? Some problem with Niharika. Where is it? Why should I move along 2? Now remember, if I intend to cross the river in the shortest possible time, I must put all my efforts in crossing the river. Push all my effort in crossing the river. By that, what I mean is away, and therefore that will in the river will my velocity work. If I want to cross the river in the shortest time, my entire velocity must be direct perpendicular to the river velocity. So with respect to river must be perpendicular to the velocity of the river. Shall I move ahead? Do we understand this? The entire effort will be in crossing the river, and that will be given by me. River is not going to help me in crossing the river. River is always flow along x-axis, but I have to move along y-axis. And that is how I cross the river in the shortest possible time. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands? That if I want to cross the river in the shortest possible time, velocity of man with respect to river must be perpendicular to the velocity of river. Can I have some raised hands? You can always remember it. For shortest time, my velocity must be perpendicular to the velocity of river. But when I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to move perpendicular to the river. River is also flowing. This is the velocity of river with respect to ground, and that is equal to u. River is also flowing. Of man with respect to river plus velocity of river with respect to ground. I have to cover this distance w. Since w is with respect to ground. Now, how do I get the distance with respect to ground or displacement with respect to ground? Sides of a triangle of the radiation will be velocity of man with respect to ground, but it goes like this. So basically what is happening here in short is I am trying to swim with respect to river perpendicular, but the river ki velocity is getting added up. River ki velocity is getting added up. And hence with respect to ground, I am moving in a different direction. I will not reach point B, I will reach point C. And I have moved some distance along x-axis. That distance is known as the drift of the particle. That is known as the drift of the particle. Am I clear? Do you understand this? I am trying to move perpendicular with respect to the river, but river the velocity is getting added up. So I don't reach from A to B. Instead of reaching from A to B, I reach from A to C. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands? Can I have some raised hands? Do we understand this? Only one people has raised hand. Niharika, 3. Okay. Now, remember, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Velocity of man with respect to river. Velocity of man with respect to river is v. V is in this direction. So it becomes v along j. Velocity of sound to ground is u. U in this direction. So it becomes u. Ground becomes ui plus vj. Do we understand? It comes like this. Velocity of man will be from here. I can find out the man is this angle theta. You can find out this angle theta that it makes with the x-axis. This is velocity v, vy divided by u. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? So this will be equal to v divided by u. So we have found out the velocity of man with respect to ground. We have found it, and do we understand this? Can I have some reasons? Okay. And this is the velocity along y. Yes or no? Please raise your hands and tell me, yes, sir. We understand this. I is the velocity along x. I means x. J wala is the velocity along y. Raise your hands, please. Then I can make two equations. One along y-axis and one along x-axis. Please raise your hands and show me your participation. Yes, sir. I can make two equations now. Y-axis along x-axis. Velocity along y-axis. Look. Velocity along y. What is the acceleration along y? There's no acceleration along y. Acceleration along y-axis is 0. I have to find out the value of this equation. Please raise your hands and tell me, sir, we remember this equation. That will give you more confidence that you remember this equation. This is the shortest time it takes to cross the river. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we have understood this, sir? No problem. Akshay. Do we understand this, beta? Tanu, are you there? Harsha, Vishal, Nayan. Okay. This is the shortest time. So I know the time it takes to cross the river. You can remember this formula if you can remember it. W by V. Simple formula. W by V. I also the drift X. Am I audible, visible? I lost. Okay. I thought that X, which is the drift. How will I get the value of X, which is the drift? Where's my cursor? Yes. How will I get the plus U? Time T, which is the shortest time, and I found out the value. It is V W by E. I can apply the equation X is equal to Ux into T plus half AX into T square. Yes or no? Are you getting me? We are there. When I have reason that you are there, you can see me, right? Great. This one goes away. This one goes away. X is Ux multiplied by T. We all know the value. So X, which is the drift, becomes U drift U into W by V. We have found out the time it takes to, which is the shortest. It can't do it any. We have found out the velocity of man. X-axis here. This one, the thing. All. Please remember this case. Most of the question in NEET or the other case we'll be discussing in the next class. I will ask anyone who has a doubt to raise your hands on this way. I'll just repeat what we mentioned is that downstream the velocity becomes u plus v, upstream the velocity becomes v minus u. In 2D wala question, we have to cross the river. The width of the river is w along y. River is moving along x with a velocity u. Man is moving in the river with a velocity v. To move to cross the ui plus vj. Magnitude is under root of u plus v square. Tan theta is made with the x by u. To get the value of time and drift x, time is w by v by equation along y-axis. Drift is u multiplied by t. T is w by v. From the equation along y-axis, we made the equation along x-axis, and we have got the value of all the unknown terms. X, t, velocity of respect to ground, and the angle it makes and the magnitude of this velocity, 5 ka panja, all the 5 things are known. We are done. I'll end today's class on this high note. I hope that you have understood this. After the class, please go through the lecture once again. Try to remember all the small things that I've told you. We must be perpendicular to you for shortest time. If you can remember this, I'm sure there is no question that is going to trouble you. Till next time, till the next class, I hope that you enjoyed this class. We'll do questions in the next class on this and the next case. I hope you enjoy it. Till tomorrow then, I wish you all the best. I wish that the God Almighty keeps you safe, healthy and happy. Till then, till tomorrow, sayonara, goodbye, take care, have a good day. Bye bye.